Are we sure Will Ospreay's not the greatest wrestler to ever live?
I think that there's a growing and growing conversation to be had there. He is very young. I'd like to, I feel like that's a conversation to really have like in 5 years. But boy, he sure is accumulating some points for it.
Just take a look at this past year, and you are good with scraping cage match data, so you'll be able to kind of answer these questions. Will Ospreay must have, per the Wrestling Observer newsletter, at this point in his career, something like, I don't know, 30 5-star matches.
Well, that's actually a fun question. That's a fun guess.
So here's my theory. This is kind of the working theory I have.
All right.
We're not just going to do the 4 pillars of King's Road. We're going to do the 5. We're going to include Jun Akiyama in this.
Oh, okay.
He's not really a pillar, but he was over, and he held the Triple Crown, and he was always feuding with those guys. I would be willing to guess that if you were to add up all the 5-star matches with those 5 from King's Road, it would be less than Will Ospreay.
I don't know about that.
Now, you do have to factor in some of the, like Will Ospreay, you're going to have some inflation because Dave has changed how he rates matches, which I think is a fair construct because a 5-star match in 1990 is going to look a hell of a lot different than what a 5-star match would look like in 2024. So I think the evolution of the star scale is objectively fine. If you don't, I respect it. But Will Ospreay just last year would have had 10 to 12 matches that ranked 5 stars per the Wrestling Observer newsletter or damn close to it. The 2 Omega matches for sure. At least one of the Okada matches. The Naito match. G1. I think that there was an Oku match. I don't think it was 2 years ago. I think it was last year.
It was 2022, it looks like.
Okay.
And then there's this year. It looks like that he had 8 5-pluses in 2023 per Melts.
That might be more than Misawa or Kobashi just alone.
No, Misawa had 25, and Kobashi had...
Jesus Christ, never mind.
You're wrong there. You're wrong there.
I didn't realize it was that many.
Yeah, Kobashi had 23, Kawada 21. And Taue...
How many does Ospreay have in his entire career?
He has 35.
Okay, so it's still significantly more. I'm an absolute buffoon for thinking it might be more than the Pillars. No. I didn't realize how many the Pillars had. Holy shit.
Yeah.
But he's 31 years old. He already has more than all the Pillars. He might have more than
anyone. He does have more than Okada. Okada has 27. Omega has 25.
He probably has more than Tanahashi, too. And he's 31. He's grown significantly. Not only has he grown, he's adapted his style. And he went from being like the super high flyer, like for lack of a better term, because they use this as an insult, a spot monkey, to being great and evolving and showing that he can really sell. And then kind of going away from his aerial attacks and getting a more ground-based style, getting over the Stormbreaker, getting over the Hidden Blade, which might be the coolest move in the history of professional wrestling, and evolving and becoming a more physical wrestler. He even said, I think he said he didn't start lifting weights until like 2018 or something like that.
Yes, it was ridiculous.
Because he was the gymnastics background. When you're a gymnast, you don't need to lift weights because you're doing all these exercises then that naturally builds up. Like you look at some of these male and female gymnasts, like in the Olympics, they're chiseled out of stone. They don't go lift weights. All that explosiveness and power, that comes from just practice. And once he started to kind of fill his body out and he changed that style, he became a multifaceted worker where he could tell a story. He could do a limb match. He could go back and do the aerial stuff. The match with Shingo in the Best of the Super Juniors, all-timer. Then you have some of the G1 matches. That G1 match with Taichi, where his equilibrium got knocked around. That was night 2 of the G1. I went 5 stars on it. That was one of the best matches I've ever seen. And it was night 1 of the G1.
Yeah.
And he goes and he does the stuff with Rev Pro. He can pull a 4-star match out of a broomstick. And built that company back up to where it is today. He and Zack Sabre Jr. were right, by the way, and built up guys like Michael Oku, and it has Callum Newman in a spot in New Japan to potentially take over United Empire and become a guy, and never wanting to win, always wanting to go to different indies and putting guys over. And he could pull a 4-star match out of anybody. Like, he could go to France. He could go to North Korea and pull out a 4-star match. Like, this is who he is. Mm-hmm. He's so incredible. He does not have to do this anymore. He got the big payday. What does he do? He gets mat burn from a top rope brainbuster, and just the bunker stuff that this guy is willing to do, and how good he is at it, how consistent he is, and his mic skills have improved. Yeah, he comes off kind of like an annoying doofus once in a while. Who hasn't come off like an annoying doofus in their entire life? Will Ospreay, for my money, is going to go down as the greatest professional wrestler to ever live. The data is going to say it. The consistency is going to say it. The versatility in the matches that he works is going to say it. And I think he has an argument right now at the age of 31 that he's already the best to ever do it. And that may sound sacrilege, but you just watch him. We are living in a simulation almost with how good he is, how consistent he is, and it doesn't matter the opponent. He works to them, gets them over, and still pulls out a 4.5-star match consistently. We are watching something truly special, and this match with Takeshita, and that takes nothing away from him. What a performance from Takeshita. One of the best workers in the world. And the way he took that Tiger Driver and was like almost like punching air opposite of where Will Ospreay was because he got knocked loopy, and then Ospreay hits that hidden blade. Just phenomenal stuff. At the end of the day, I am staking my claim that Will Ospreay is the greatest professional wrestler to ever live. And I'm going to leave it at that.